The next, what I need to do is bring in, I got some points where my PVIs are going to be or my PIs are going to be. So what we'll do is, while we're in Business Center, again, going back to my file, I got my PI points. I'm going to simply drag and drop, put that in, and you can see it brings in these 4 PVI points. I'm going to go back to Civil 3D, and for this one I have to insert. So I'll type in insert, and I'm inserting a block. I could extract this as well, but I'm going to bring it in, I'm going to explode it, and click OK. So now you can see it brings them in that way. So they're there. So now what I need to do is I need to create the alignment. And we'll start while we're in Civil 3D. I'll go ahead and start here. So I'm going to come in and start with a polyline. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a line in Business Center. I could use the alignment tools, create alignment tools, but I want to, again, try to keep things somewhat similar, because a lot of times you'll get this polyline that's already drafted or drawn for you, and you want to create it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to snap to the center of this one. It's, you know, I can put in the arc and half width and all that, but I'm going to just do it kind of the way I think most people would do it, is they would drop in these points at the center of the circles. Okay. Then they would go and use the fillet command, set the radius to 250, and then pick the lines. So come in here and grab those, repeat the command, pick that one and that one. So we've got that. Okay. Now to do this is just a 2D line. We can't do the 3D or the vertical profile yet. We actually have to make an alignment and a profile, and that's where we'll do the 3D profile. So let's switch over to Business Center and we'll do that line string. So I'm going to go to CAD. I'm going to create a line string. I'm going to call this, we'll call it center line. And we'll go ahead and throw it on a layer called center line. And we'll leave it white because we'll change the alignment to a different color. We'll click OK here and OK. So now it's going to ask us for our coordinates, and we've got our snap set. So I'm just going to pick there. It picks up the elevation that I need. Picks up the elevation I need for that PVI, that one, as well as this one. Alright, so now I've got it in there. I'm just going to go back and hit cancel here, and it goes back into what's called edit mode, and I'm going to change this to a PI arc with a 250 radius. Save that one. I'll come over here and do the same thing. We will go change that from straight to a PI arc, and same thing, 250. So now we've got a line in Civil 3D as well as in Business Center. But the difference is that in Civil 3D that's a 2D polyline. In here this is a 3D line that is running through those PI points, elevation points. So what I'm going to do back in Business Center is I'm actually going to edit that line one more time, and I could have done it while I was in there. And what I'm going to do is switch over to vertical here, and I'm going to put in a PVI in my vertical alignment here, and we're going to set that at elevate or station. We'll go with 12. Actually, let's make it 1250, and we'll set the elevation to 98, and we're going to tell it that it's a vertical curve with a 300-foot length. So what it's done is it's put in that vertical curve. We'll also come back and we will add in another 300-foot vertical curve at this spot right here, which we want that to be 750. Alright, so we got one at 1250, and we'll set the elevation here to be 105, and we'll save that. So we've got two vertical curves, one at 750, at 105, at 300, and then another one at 1250 at an elevation of 98 at and 300 length curve. Okay, so we've got that in there already. So that 3D line string I can then use to create my horizontal and vertical alignments, which I'll do next. So let's jump over to business or civil 3D, and what we have to do in here is we have to take this 2D line and actually make it an alignment. So we're going to come in and we're going to do a alignment from objects. We're going to select this polyline and press enter. It's going in that direction, that's fine, we'll keep it that way. We'll turn off our labels, we don't need to see this, and we'll just call it center line, and we'll click OK. So now we've got the horizontal alignment. We need to make the vertical, so we have to take that alignment and create a profile view first, or actually create a surface profile of it first so we can get the existing ground. So we have to sample the alignment along the existing ground, draw in profile, create the profile view. We'll go ahead and drop that guy in there. We're not going to worry about the settings. I may come in here, edit the profile style so that I can change the graph. We'll make it let's say 1 to 2. Oh, actually, let's go to this, but 1 to 10. Okay, it gives it a little bit different, a little bit better view here. So there's our existing ground running down through there. What we have to do is click that profile view and create a profile. Okay, we'll use no labels, and we're going to use these tools here that we have to come in and say draw a tangent or draw a tangent with curves. So if I use the tangent with curves and I use this as my starting point because we started our profile there, and then we want to come in and put in where our vertical curves are. Now there is a tool that I can come over here and say profile station elevation, pick this profile view, and I can put in my stationing. So my first one was at 750 and the elevation for that was 105, and then my next one was 1250 and the elevation for that was 98. So I put those in, and I come down here, I'll escape on that, and I can put in my endpoint snapping back to there. So you can see it put in the curves for me, but we need to come in and change those. So if we pick that one, we make our profile curve length, make it 300, and then we can come over to this one, pick that point there, and make that one 300. Okay, so there's our profile that is now our alignment and our profile in Civil 3D. Okay, should probably save at that point, but I'll save later. Hopefully it works for me. I'll go back over to Business Center, and we still have that 3D line string. You can see that's the profile of it, so I could actually split this view so I can see the alignment and the profile. If we go back over here, very similar, should be the same exact, just depending on the exaggeration. You can see I can exaggerate this view by just scrolling my wheel mouse, holding my shift and control keys down. So I can zoom in, pan out, whatever, but it's a different view. I can close it, don't need to see it. It's just a line string, so I'm going to go to the corridor tab and I'm going to click on create alignment, and we'll call this center line. We'll go ahead and put it on a layer, we'll call it a line, and we'll make this red, and then we'll click OK. And we're going to define by using that line string that we have selected. I already had it selected, so I don't have to select it, but I could just go ahead and pick it there and click OK. So what it does, it creates that alignment and vertical profile. There's all the data. Stuff's already in there. I can come in here and edit, modify, change as needed. Right? I can close that down because now I've got that profile. Right? The next step would be to build the actual corridor.